Hello everyone, this is Darren Wilson. I'm the Director of Online Operations at Hope School of Leadership. I wanted to log into the Canvas platform and show you around. For some of you, this is going to be brand new, and for others of you, this is going to be a review. But I want to make sure that you know exactly where everything is and what to look for inside the Canvas platform whenever you log in for your courses. So when you first open the Canvas platform, you should see this. We call this the dashboard. If you're not seeing this screen right here, you can click in the bottom left-hand corner where it says dashboard, and it should show you your courses in your dashboard. There's also across the bottom different apps that you can use. You can see that none of mine are active right now because I normally don't use them. Everything that I need can be found from the dashboard. So I'm going to go into this Experiencing God course. All of our courses at Hope School are designed exactly the same. So what I'm showing you inside of this course called Experiencing God, you'll be able to find all of the other same links and the same resources for those courses whenever you log in to the courses in your dashboard. So I'm going to tap on Experiencing God course, and it's going to open up that course in the Canvas platform. So there's a couple of things that I want you to notice from here. You can always click on the top left corner, that back arrow, that will take you to dashboard, or from any course, you can also click on the dashboard app at the bottom left corner. The dashboard is where you always want to go first whenever you enter the Canvas app and then whenever you get ready to leave. So I'm going to click on Experiencing God, and you'll see that there are several different tabs right here in the middle that we can click on. The first one that I want to show you is called the home or the front page. When I click on that, this is going to be like the main home page for the course. So this gives you an overview of the course. It also shows you the calendar. All of our courses are laid out to be 12 weeks long, and they're all divided up into 6 sections. Each one of those sections has a 2-week time period on it. So it's designed to take you a total of 12 weeks to go through all 6 sections. And you can see that on these sections that we have a target window for dates when you should be starting and when you should be finishing each of these sections. If I scroll down a little bit further, there's a reminder here that says in order to receive a certificate of completion, you need a minimum of 450 points. Or if you earn 540 points or more, you can earn a certificate of excellence. And we'll look at the gradebook in just a moment, but points are very important as you go through these. Each section is worth a total of 600 possible points. Also, I want you to notice on the home page that in this blue area, we have a link to the WhatsApp group for this course. Every course has its own WhatsApp group. So if you're taking 2 courses this term, you also need to be a member of 2 WhatsApp groups. And so when you click on that link, it's going to take you to the link for that WhatsApp group right there, okay? So make sure you get that joined. And then this area here in yellow is just explaining to you the 3 types of assignments that you're going to have in each of these courses. So there's going to be a personal application report. We'll talk about that in a minute. There is going to be a class interaction. We call that the discussion board. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And then we'll talk about the section evaluations. Those are the quizzes that you take, and we'll talk about that in a minute whenever we get there. And then at the bottom of each homepage is the contact information for each one of our student support specialists. So if you need some help, that's how to contact them. So I'm going to click on back, and we are no longer on the front page. We're on the main menu for this course. Below that is going to be a link for people, and you'll be able to see all of the people that are in this course with you. So if you ever need to do a project in a group, or if you need to contact someone that you know from your WhatsApp group, you'll be able to see some of their information here. Also, underneath people, there's a link for assignments. This is probably one of the most important links. When you click on the assignments link, you're going to see all of the assignments for the entire course. And remember, there's going to be 6 sections. So each section has an overview, an interaction, a quiz, and an application. You can see those for section 1. And then section 2 is the same way: overview, interaction, quiz, and application report. Section 3, overview, interaction, quiz, application report. So it's all laid out in a very predictable pattern. I want you to notice that the overview is just that. There's nothing to be submitted because that's not an assignment. The overview is just simply that. It's where all of the materials are. That's where you're going to do your learning, but there's nothing to submit or turn in there. But you can see on section 1 interaction, that's worth a total of 30 points. You can see section 1 quiz is worth a total of up to 20 points. And then section 1 application report is up to 50 points total. And that's where we get the 100 points for each section between those 3 assignments. Now, as you work through these, you'll be able to see if you've turned something in or not, and if you've turned it in, what your score is thus far. And you can see, since this is a brand new course for me, I haven't turned in any assignments yet because that dash and the fact that it's in red shows that it's due, but it's not been submitted or graded yet. But you can also see when the deadline is for these assignments. Let's click through each one of these so you can get a good overview of how this is going to be laid out. So I'm going to click on section 1 overview in the app, and here we go. We'll know that section 1 has a specific due date. We can see that. We can also set ourselves a reminder if we'd like to. But each section has its own video that's going to play in this page that's going to give you a quick introduction to what the section is all about. You're also going to be able to read through this short introduction here, and that's just going to set the stage for what you're going to be learning in this section. And then comes the learning resources. So every section has something you're going to read, and then it will also have an accompanying audio. So what I suggest that you do first is click on the reading, and you can read through all of the material here on your device. You could also download this and print it if you wanted to, but this is where the reading is. This particular overview has 2 different parts to read. You can see this part 1, God's will in your life, and then part 2, looking to God. So there's a lot to read. You're going to have to do that first before you can do anything else. And then also, you'll be able to see that every section has audio narration to follow along with the reading. We know that a lot of people read or learn best when they read. Other people learn best when they can hear or listen. So there's 2 different ways to get the information here. Both of these are very worthwhile for your time. So I would suggest that you read first, and then you can turn on the audio and listen to these to get some reinforcement for your learning. After you've done those learning resources, then the next thing you're going to do is the class interaction. So as you go through this reading and then these audio files that are the narration, obviously you're probably going to be taking notes as you go and writing down the things that are most important to you. Once you get to the class interaction, we want you to be able to talk about what you're learning, not just repeat what you're learning or not just copy and paste from the notes. We want you to be able to talk about it. And so we've added these deep dive podcasts. Every section has its own deep dive podcast, and you're going to be able to listen to this podcast. You'll be able to listen to people talking about the materials. They're not going to be quoting the materials. They're not going to be just copying and pasting what you've already done. This is new. This is them talking about the things that you are learning. Then we want you in the discussion board to be able to talk about what you're learning as well. So first is the deep dive podcast. Next is the discussion boards. Let me show you the discussion board real quick. When you click into the discussion board, you're going to see some directions, and then you're going to see some prompts. I went through and started all of these prompts myself, and these are just different questions, different ways to get you thinking about the material and you can choose to reply to any of these questions. Now, there's going to be many people replying to these. You can just add your own perspective, your own opinion. If someone has already replied, feel free to add yours opinion or your perspective to that just by clicking on the reply button, and then you can type in your reply right there. You'll also be able to reply to someone else's reply, and that's how you talk with someone else. Because not only do we want you to be able to tell us what you're learning, we want you to be able to discuss it with someone else. So in this example, you'll be able to see that someone here has already replied to my question, and then you can click on reply to theirs and start a conversation thread that way. After the class interaction is going to be the quiz. I'm going to click on this link for section 1 quiz, and you'll be able to take the quiz. All of these quizzes have 10 questions. They're multiple choice. You are allowed to use your notes that you've taken as you are reading through the material and listening to the material. These are self-grading. So as soon as you submit your quiz, it's going to give you a grade back, and you'll be able to see what you got right and what you got wrong. Each quiz, you're allowed to attempt it 5 times, and we'd like for you to continue retesting yourself until you can get a perfect score. Let's go back again. Now the application report. When I click here on application report, again, you're going to be reminded of the deadline, and then you can see a description here of what you need to include in your application report. And because the application report is worth 50 points, this is the most important grade, most important assignment that you're going to do in each one of these sections. You can click on this link right here, and it will show you exactly what we're looking for whenever you turn in your application report. This is not notes. This is different. This is you telling us in your own words exactly what you're learning and how you plan to apply that in your life the week that you learn it moving forward. Okay? And so each time you do one of these activities, you will it will notify your teacher. They will go in, assign a grade for you, and then you'll be able to do it that way. I'm going to click on back a couple of times to get back here, and I'm going to click on grades. The grades tab is a very easy way of seeing exactly what has been turned in and what hasn't been turned in yet. So when I ask you later on to check your grades or check the number of points, this is where you're going to do it. You'll be able to see exactly which assignments have been graded and which are still outstanding, and it will show you your points total as you go through the course. And that's really all you need to know. Most of the time, you're probably going to be either on the home or the front page, on the assignments tab or the grades tab. Make sure that you're also paying attention to the WhatsApp group. That's going to be the place where you ask questions if you have any questions. But just keep in mind that your instructors are all listed on your homepage, on the start page down at the very bottom. So if you need help from any one of us, please contact us. WhatsApp is probably the easiest way, and we'll be able to get you on your way and get you going. Like I said, all the courses are laid out exactly the same. So what I've showed you here in this Experiencing God course will apply to all of the other courses that you take. Once you learn the process, once you've learned the pattern, then taking other courses in the future just become easier and easier because you know exactly what's going to be expected and where to find it and how to turn those things in. So I hope this is helpful. If not, if you still have some questions, obviously feel free to contact me and let me know how I can assist. Thank you. Bye-bye.